And here, huddling together for warmth.
Yes.
Here's a bizarre love triangle.
It is, isn't it?
Stephen, Gillian and Barney from New Order. How are you?
They're the bizarre bit, aren't they? Only a joke.
Well, there are
friction within the band already.
You've got the little. Stephen's got the little.
Stephen's got the tiny purple
Can
chair.
we get this on the webcam? Stephen's got the tiny chair.
To avoid embarrassing seating
It's got
incidents.
a bit of a nursery rhyme thing going on, hasn't it? Yeah. Like you should be holding up an empty bowl saying, "Where's my porridge?"
Grill, please.
We were talking before. There's a bloke said, "Can I have a request?" Because he's having a tough day. He's power washing a chicken shed.
Yeah.
And we've just been discussing. What was? Did you ever have a really horrible job that you walked out of after half a day or something? What was the worst job that you ever had?
No, but I can tell you a Joy Division story. We got paid in chickens once, didn't we?
We did get paid in chickens, yeah.
Was it Preston? No, it was Preston.
I thought you were going to say it was in Moldova.
I was just thinking been in Yorkshire, but it could have been. It could easily have been Preston, yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter where.
Yeah,
We did it really well. We sold the gig out. It was a terrible gig. It was so bad that it was one of them that we recorded and put out. It was a terrible gig. Loads of things went wrong. And the guy at the end, the club owner, came and said, "Oh, sorry lads, just couldn't quite get the figures to work out, I can't pay anything." We're like, but it was full.
Yeah.
It was full. He said, "Well, I'll tell you what you sat on there is a freezer chest. If you open it up, there's a load of frozen chickens in there. You can have a lot of them, and that that'll sort you out." So we did actually get paid.
We got paid in chickens.
And did you take it away with you?
Of course we did.
You
Did
did.
you get one each?
Still got one in the fridge now.
And toilet roll as well.
Toilet roll. Yeah.
Was that the same gig? It was
Yeah, the same gig.
a dual payment.
We had him over with the toilet
Yeah.
rolls. Didn't
know about that.
Am I
We had the toilet roll
Did you
as
tell
well.
me? Did you tell me recently, Stephen, that you got paid in potatoes once?
That was the factory Poland.
Poland, yeah.
That's
where
right.
we
Because there was
signed-
trouble. There was always trouble in Eastern Europe with getting the
getting
funds
money
and
out.
stuff. Yeah.
It was either tractor parts.
It was tractor parts.
or potatoes.
Right.
Well, there you go.
We had him over with the potatoes.
Yeah, you go. Potatoes. You said potatoes. Not ridiculous. We usually demand nothing less than chickens, mate.
What did we do with the tractor parts?
Well, we didn't. We went. We were going to open a fast food chicken restaurant with all the chickens and potatoes, but it never worked out. We couldn't cook it fast enough.
Yeah.
So how's things in New Orleans? What's it like being back, Gillian?
It's been quite good, yeah.
What
Enjoyed
made-
it.
Massive understatement. There you go. Come on, a little bit more than
Tell
that.
the truth, can I? No,
What-
it's been wonderful.
Is it? What would were you itching to come back?
Not-
I mean,
not-
why was it the
not
right? Why was
itchy,
it?
no.
No.
I had a slight itch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why was it the right time? Had he been chipping away at you at home, saying you fancy it?
I don't know if he likes me being back in the band.
Well, she wanted to get away from
Stress.
Steve,
Yeah.
and then after agreeing to do it, she was like, "Oh shit, he's in the band."
He's still in the band. That's why I've got the small chair and everything. I think it's
Yeah.
a hint.
And has it been like riding a bike? Is it just the same? Is that the right expression? You know what I mean? You never forget.
Very odd, that now, doesn't it?
You know what I mean, though. I mean, it's like, this feels completely comfortable again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was, yeah. After a couple of weeks, it was, yeah.
The first gig was a bit nerve-wracking. The one
Yeah.
we did in the first gig we played was in Brussels, which you didn't know what to expect, So it was a bit like, what's going to happen here,
Yeah.
But
Did you get paid in
It was
sprites?
actually a fantastic gig.
Was it? Yeah.
They've all been good, really.
Yeah.
We were all a
What
bit
could possibly go
nervous, I
wrong?
think.
Yeah.
They've all been good, haven't they? We're just waiting for that one, aren't we?
Just one.
Could be tonight.
Well, there you
Could
go.
be tonight at the Manchester Apollo.
Is this
Hometown
wood?
gig.
Is this wood?
It will be
Friday
being the
13th,
first, won't it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What's it like then coming back and doing a gig here?
It's scarier than Brussels.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me.
Who says that now?
Well, the worst thing about Manchester is the bloody guest actually.
The guest
Oh,
were
yeah.
about our
No, you
friends.
can't complain about people wanting to come and
This
see
is
you.
true. We played Manchester once. We had 800 people on the guest list. We did 800 people on the guest
Where were you
list.
playing?
It was the GMX
Right. Okay.
place, thingamabob.
So you could get another few thousand payers in
Paying customers.
to avoid having to go in with chickens again,
Yeah.
couldn't you? 800 on the guest list.
Well, it's good to play the Apollo because we've, we played there before. We played there as Joy Division, didn't we? So
Yeah, we did. We played there a few times.
I went there as a kid.
I was going to say, you must have all gone.
When it was a cinema.
Yeah.
I lived in Salford, Low Broughton, and I I went to see a film at the Apollo.
Can you remember what it was? The detail here is what a
I
film.
think it was called The Sweet Sins of Sexy Susan.
All right.
I'm going to look that
Or
up.
Helga.
The Apollo, I think the Apollo's a lovely theatre. I mean, because when I was growing up in Bolton, but for big gigs, you'd come into Manchester, Free Trade Hall and places like. I mean, the Apollo. You'd really arrived if you were playing somewhere like the Manchester Apollo, wouldn't you? Like playing Hammersmith Odeon in London or Edinburgh Playhouse.
Yeah, it reminds me of Brixton Academy.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's I don't know, it's good sound.
Yeah.
You always have a good gig there.
You're doing tonight and tomorrow there, aren't you?
We're doing 2 nights, yeah.
And then Birmingham. It says Birmingham, the ballroom, the other room, and the end. What's that mean?
I'm not entirely sure what that means.
Anyway, and then Brixton Academy next Wednesday and Thursday, Glasgow Academy Saturday the 5th, Usher Hall Edinburgh Sunday the 6th, and then you go to Newcastle and Belfast and Kinross, and then Benicassim and Festival and things, and quite a lot of things going on. Oh, Hyde Park calling with Blur and the Specials, of course.
Yeah.
After the Olympics.
After the Olympics, yeah.
If it all goes well with the Olympics.
How do you think they might not do it?
What do you mean?
I just got a
What do
terrible
you
feeling
mean?
about the Olympics. I think.
Well, they're going to
In what
say, look,
sense?
it's not proper. We're going to call the Olympics off.
You say that now. The 100 metres, we can only manage 50.
Have you seen? We were talking yesterday about the signs. Have you seen the signs on the motorway? The signs that hang over saying "Think bike, think biker," whatever that might mean. And there's another one saying for the Olympics, plan your journey and arrive on time.
Yeah.
It's good of them to say that, because otherwise you'd just set off half an hour before, wouldn't you? And hope for the best.
The one I like is the places to avoid in London during the Olympics.
Is there a sign up of that?
Yeah, places. It's a big thing, a list of places to avoid in London during the Olympics, which is basically London, really.
Hyde Park.
Manchester's got the Shove Halfpenny, hasn't it, at the Olympics?
think so,
I think.
yeah. And Domino's.
Right.
Talking of London. Oh, see that? Gear change. That was a
Beautiful.
neat shift, that, wasn't it? New Order, live at the London Troxy, 10th of December 2011. Was this one of the gigs that was so bad you've put it out as a live album, or was this quite a good one that night?
No, the gig was really good, but whether it comes across as a live album or not, I don't know, because I'm not a big fan of live albums myself. But
You're
you're
the ultimate hard sell merchants, you guys.
Don't buy it. Listen, if you listen to this, even if you like it, don't buy it. Don't buy it.
Shall we have 586 live at the Troxy?
Yeah.
All right then.
You have to listen to it.
Not if you don't want, no. 586, New Order live at the London Troxy, which we managed to talk through most of
Don't
it.
ask why it's called 586.
Don't. Well, that's kind of a bit of a red rag, but we won't.
It's the it's a combination on my suitcase.
You've given it away now.
Bit strapped on that day. What to write a song about?
I think you have confessed that on previous occasions that words don't come easy. In the words of F.R. David, was it? Words don't come easy to me.
Was that
F.R. David?
Is F.R. David not only words? I don't know.
Anyway,
Who's F.R. David?
I don't know.
yeah, I think he had a hit with words.
Yeah.
Words don't come easy. But
No, they don't. Well, no, they don't. No.
has it got? Have you had periods of lucidity?
Do I have periods?
Of lucidity?
When I need to do them, I do them. Yeah, but it's not. I don't kind of sit around with a notebook and write down my thoughts for the day.
No.
I'm not that kind of poetic figure. When I need to write them, I write them. But
It was never your job, was it, originally, of course?
wasn't,
You never
no,
got into it
no,
thinking
no,
you were
no.
going to have to write the words.
no, I kind of fell into it. Really.
Did you never step in, Steve, with the odd
You've write a few
stanza?
words,
Had you
I've written
written-
some words, and buts, and so are usually mine. Yeah, well, we all had to go, like we all had to go at singing.
Yeah.
In the early days in the New Order singing contest.
What was that like? Tell us about that.
Wasn't as good as the X Factor.
Was it not? I don't know. I'd watch that. I'd sooner watch that than the X Factor.
Unfortunately, there are no recordings of it. I don't think video cameras were invented in those days.
Well, don't go there.
Did you do a cover version of your
There is.
choice?
We've got a bit of you singing, have we, Steve?
Have you?
I could release that, couldn't we?
No. No, you couldn't release it.
I can't remember whether I've ever asked you, did you ever think of getting a singer in?
We did.
That sounds like the rudest question in the world to ask a lead vocalist, but you know what I mean? At that time, yeah.
Yeah, it was the first thing that came to mind, really, after we decided to carry on, after Ian had died. But it just seemed a bit clinical, and it felt like an intrusion, really.
Yeah.
And I did get approached by a couple of people when I was walking around Manchester who was interested, but it just seemed very clinical. It seemed more natural to do what we did.
Well, it was a natural progression. If you change the singer in a group, it just shifts the whole thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Also, your selection, had you decided to do it, your selection procedure probably would have been different than just people who stop you in the street, I imagine, as well.
Yeah. Well, we didn't, it just seemed very calculated and clinical. So what we did was we decided to try it, each of us out singing, and we went on a tour of the eastern seaboard of the United States and did a few small club dates and drank a lot of alcohol, basically, and everyone had a go at it, and
so you all had a go at it live on those gigs?
Yeah. But
with Joy Division songs or new fledgling New Order songs? What were you singing?
New fledgling New Order songs, that became part of Movement, the first album. Steve was a bit like Phil Collins on it. It was a bit like...
Unfortunately, no.
Singing.
No. But, I was like a real man, I'm not
Rob,
learning the words. You don't have to learn the words. It's easier to singing like...
We were like, well, Steve can't do it. It looks like bloody Phil Collins, and he's on the drums at the back, And Rob was like, well, we can put the drums at the front. At the front of the stage.
Right.
Simple solution.
Could have been a whole parallel history, a whole range of solo albums with just your head against the black background.
Stephen Smith and Father,
And then we actually did some recording on the same trip and tried everyone out in this recording studio in Martin on it. We were in Orange, New Jersey, and we recorded Ceremony and In a Lonely Place there. 2 songs that we wrote to cheer Ian up. I don't think In a Lonely Place, if you've ever heard it, would cheer anyone up. So we went in with Martin Hannett and recorded those 2 songs, and I think I got the job.
Yeah.
Don't know why, because it was absolutely terrible at singing. Bit better now.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What has changed? So, with the track that you're playing live tonight and over the summer, the track we just played is recent live. What's changed? I mean, obviously since the very early days things have changed, but how does it still feel the same? Does the day of a gig still feel the same as it did?
Well, I think you get a bit battle hardened. You do get a bit battle hardened, and you kind of look forward to it rather than go, oh shit, I'm going today, right? You get and worry about it.
You still get excited though. You wake up in the morning. You wake up in the morning like today and think, great gig tonight. No.
Well, your silence speaks volumes.
No, not really. No. Well, let me explain that. You try not to think about it. Well, for me, you try not to think about it till just before you walk on the stage.
Right.
Yeah.
Just think about it at the sound check,
really.
though.
You try not to think about songwriting until you pick the guitar up, because the more you think about it, the worse, the less intuitive it becomes.
Sure, I understand that. Yeah.
So you kind of make a worse job of it. For me, what about you?
Yeah, you only get nervous if you think about it.
Yeah, you just start worrying about it. It's like everything, though, isn't it, now?
Yeah.
As you get older, you think, oh, well.
Yeah.
But, when you used to worry about it, you just think it's pointless.
Yeah.
The worst thing you can do, I found, is when you...
We'll do it.
I won't do it. It happens every time. If you do a gig, you do a gig, and all of a sudden you think, this is going incredibly well.
Right, yeah.
And then immediately, within 10 seconds, you'll drop the biggest clanger you've ever done in your life.
That is true.
Do you still make mistakes?
Yeah.
I get worse as a rehearse. We've only done one rehearsal. I've only done one rehearsal this gig. And I went in at Steve's and played it all through and played it all fine. And then we were at the Apollo yesterday doing a production rehearsal and mistakes all over the place.
Yeah, but that's good before a gig, isn't it? Bad rehearsal, good gig. Isn't that the old
That's
adage?
the old theatre adage.
If it goes superbly in run through,
Normally that's the case, but it won't be with us.
listen, I mean, have you spoken to Peter? I mean, when he was in, he said, well, the elephant in the room, obviously, because it's different with him not being there, clearly.
It is different.
Is it still as frosty and difficult as ever? That
things are not good.
No.